Un soggetto che piace tantissimo alle donne, però non solo, anche agli uomini, perché ci sono degli orologi fantastici proprio qui in questa serata speciale dove Metropoli vi presenta questo reportage sulla Bijouterie Italienne, che è riuscita ad avere 4 dei più grandi nomi nel mondo della gioielleria proprio qui a Montreal, un evento rarissimo. Ci sono dei rappresentanti della Gucci, ci sono dei rappresentanti del Pomellato, ma anche del Frédéric Constant, che ha degli orologi assolutamente favolosi, e anche un altro della Diamonds, il Forever Mark, diamanti canadesi estratti proprio qui nel nostro Canada. Allora, non andate via, si continua con questo bellissimo programma sui gioielli proprio qui da Bijouterie Italienne. Di ritorno a Metropoli in questa occasione speciale, proprio qui stasera alla Bijouterie Italienne, questo evento particolare, molto interessante, però molto esclusivo, dove sono raggruppate delle marche di gioielli e di orologi di grande fama e molto prestigiosi, però per organizzare un evento del genere non è una cosa facile. È uno che sa come farci, è il signor Marco Miserendino, proprio qui accanto a me. Marco, benvenuto al nostro programma.
Buonasera Piero.
Marco, allora vedo che hai un gran sorriso, è una bella soddisfazione anche di avere organizzato una cosa del genere. You obviously put a lot of work into getting something like this organized, but speak to us a bit about this evening, which is cadeau pour vous.
Tonight is a very particular night, Piero. Rarely in my experience have I seen anything like this. We have 4 very prestigious brands, not one, but 4, that are bringing pieces that usually don't make it to Montreal. Let's be honest to each other. Montreal is not usually in the circuit of these cities that receive brands like this and the collections that are now being shown here. So we're very fortunate to have not one, but 4 brands.
These are world-famous brands.
World-class brands, and I'll name them in a couple of minutes. These 4 brands are reunited under one roof tonight and are exhibiting some very special pieces. We have brands, I think most people are familiar with the Diamond Mining Company, De Beers, very famous diamond mining company, which owns a brand called Forever Mark. So tonight we have some pieces that were on the red carpet in Hollywood during the Oscars. Some very rare pieces. We're very thrilled about that. Montreal usually doesn't get that kind of buzz. Gucci was generous enough to fly in some pieces that are part of their North American trunk show. So they visit their top doors in North America, and were one of their first stops.
In North America, normally where do these brands stop? Say someone like Gucci, obviously you say Montreal is not on their itinerary usually. Where do they usually go?
They do stop in cities like in New York and LA. They'll do the major U.S. cities, but a city like Montreal, when it's visited and blessed by such collections, that's why it draws so much media. Tonight we're fortunate enough to have a lot of media that's covering the event, because Gucci's here, Pomelato's here, Forever Mark is here, and Frédéric Constant, the famous watch company, is here. And these people have been generous to fly in all these goods, and I won't tell you what these pieces are worth, but we're talking a lot of money under one roof. And it's a rare occasion for our special guests and our customers to view these pieces tonight for 4 hours, and for the press to meet the directors of these companies, some of which have flown from Geneva, all the way from Geneva, to be here tonight.
So this is really an extremely exclusive and prestigious event, something that obviously we don't have very often in Montreal. At the same time, you said there are pieces that are extremely exclusive, some that were on the red carpet in Hollywood. Can you speak to us a bit about that?
Well, Pink, the famous singer Pink, wore some beautiful earrings that are here tonight. They're very large earrings. They're diamonds that are part of the Forever Mark collection. I won't put a value to it, but obviously they're they're priceless.
They're very unique, obviously. These pieces that are exhibited and that are quite unique, quite rare, actually, can be bought by the public. No.
Now, the purpose of this event tonight is twofold. One is we want to show these pieces so the media gets to see them, but also for our guests, we have some customers that are here tonight that will have the opportunity to buy these pieces. So I'm very confident that a few very nice pieces will find a home here in Montreal tonight.
Marco, behind that smile of yours, there's obviously a lot of work behind this. To organize something like this, I'm sure that these brands do not go to any jewelry store they meet. They're obviously very demanding. And how much work and what kind of criteria do they look for when they try to participate in events like this?
I would tell you that we're very fortunate. I think we have some merit because we've earned their trust. But if I speak humbly, we're very fortunate that these companies see in us an opportunity to showcase their products in such a way. But the work starts a long time ahead. If I talk about only the work to put this event together, I would say it started probably through conversations about a year ago, more concrete conversations 6 months ago, and planning in the past 3 months, very active planning. Logistics, a lot of logistics to bring things over the borders, to fly people over, hotels and so forth. So the logistics are incredible, even just from a communications point of view, PR and so forth. So
to make everything converge and arrive, basically you're filtering down through the funnel to this one evening where all this is here, is obviously a great task, but obviously it's a testament to your reputation as a Bijouterie Italienne, right?
The reputation comes also from the teamwork. We wouldn't be able to do this if we didn't have the right team. So I give the merit to the team. We have a fantastic team. We have Emily in PR. We have David, which is our sales manager, and a few other people that have put a lot of hours in making sure that everything went through seamlessly tonight. And for the guests tonight, they don't see any of this. What they see is they're having a good time. It's catered. We have a fantastic caterer, champagne. The red carpet outside, as you saw when you walked in. So their experience is a seamless experience that lasts about 4 hours. They're having a great time, but they don't see what went into it. But the team behind it, they worked long hours. I have to tell you, last night they left here at 11 p.m. just putting in the final touches right before this event.
That's a sign of professionalism, obviously, because that's what you want. Is you want something to go very seamlessly. You want it to go very nicely, and people don't have to see all the behind-the-scenes work. That is what you guys are involved with. But Marco, speak to us just maybe briefly about the history of Bijouterie Italienne. Obviously, you owe a lot to your parents, right?
Well, there's a lot to be said, but if I want to keep it short for the also I don't want to bore
a brief history.
The history started in 1959 when both my parents immigrated from Italy. They met and started the business here in Montreal, and from there my sister and I got involved in the business in 1992. And since then the business has taken a little bit of a turn, more brands, international brands. Our focus has been a little bit more on higher end product, and ever since then a lot of efforts have been put into bringing in the right product for the clientele we were targeting. So it's a history that spans about 55 years here in Canada, and before our history here in Canada we had about 4 generations, to be precise 4, on my mother's side in Italy, of goldsmithing and
I think your dad was also involved with watchmaking, right?
Right. My father is a watchmaker by trade, and on my mother's side, jewelers.
So the women can come here and admire most of the jewelry, while us men, we stick to our watches, and that's what it is.
I'm so excited. I want you to try on a couple of these watches. Some of these watches are really cool.
We definitely will. It's one of my favorite pieces of jewelry for men. What else can we have? I don't wear earrings, so.
And we'll have some of the women try on some jewelry later. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on TV, but I'd love to show them the jewelry.
Marco, it was a treat talking to you, and all the best for this beautiful evening. Thank you very much. Ecco. Di ritorno a questo programma speciale dedicato alla bigiotteria, non solo ai gioielli ma anche agli orologi. Abbiamo con noi, proprio qui a Montreal, in questa occasione speciale, un signore che è con la ditta Frédéric Constant, che è molto molto rinomata per gli orologi che producono attraverso il mondo e che vendono proprio qui alla Bijouterie Italienne. Il signor Niels Egerding, direttore commerciale di questa ditta Frédéric Constant. Niels, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much.
It's
Good to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you on our show. It's a pleasure also to discover this Frédéric Constant that is obviously very high-end producing watches, but at the same time they have quite a history behind them. Can you speak to us a bit about what your role is and also how these watches are so special?
Of course. First of all, I'm just arrived from LA. So the funny thing is my sales director in USA is planning for me for the whole week. So from Geneva to LA, one day in LA, I'm coming over especially for this event to support Marco a little bit.
So you're a little jet lagged probably, right?
Well, you know, if you travel that much, I just came back from Hong Kong and China, so...
So you have a lot of air miles.
I have a lot of air miles and I no longer have a full convinced situation about time, but I'm okay, I'm fine. It's good to be here. So my role is I'm commercial director of the company, so responsible globally for the revenue.
You are based where?
In Geneva, yeah, in Switzerland. I'm Dutch original, and for 2.5 years I'm now based in Geneva. And working very close with our CEO, our founder, Peter Stas and Aletta. And traveling a lot, so supporting the markets, doing interviews, but also see how the POS looks like, where we can improve both brands. We're talking about Frédéric Constant and Alpina.
And what is it that makes a Frédéric Constant watch a Frédéric Constant watch?
Well, I think what makes us unique is we make very high luxury watch, but we make it for an accessible price. So our business model is that we take less profit, we take less margin to offer a very honest watch for the end consumer. That started 25 years ago, so we are one of the youngest watch companies in the world, in the Swiss watch industry, but one of the most successful ones, because you need to realize that we're only 25 years young, and the other brands are more than 125 years, 180 years, a big history. So in those 25 years, we managed to give access to a large group of luxury watches.
And that's obviously not a very easy task because, as you mentioned, you're competing against some watch companies that have big reputation, a lot of fame. They have been there for a long time. So to already be right up there with them means that these watches have something special. What is it that makes a Frédéric Constant watch special?
Yeah, well, I think the uniqueness of the brand is that we have our own manufacture watch. So we do the conception in-house, we do the production in-house, and the finally assembling in-house. And that also for an accessible price. So we are the only one who are producing this watch, but this luxury finishing and that own movement for that accessible price. On the side, we are family-owned, independent. And today, all the big brands are owned by big groups. And we just want to work together with individual partners, with chains, do together a business, and that works out. I mean, the retail love that.
Exactly. And speaking of retail, you're here tonight for this special event, an event called Un Cadeau pour vous, here in the French part of Canada, obviously, in Quebec, at Bijouterie Italienne. What kind of pieces can we see here tonight? Are there like a special collection that is unveiled or that will be arriving soon? What can we see here?
Well, we have a very special edition here. This year we're celebrating our 10 years anniversary of our Heartbeat Manufacture collection. And especially for that event in May, done in Geneva, we have produced a limited edition, 10 pieces globally, a tourbillon in a racing green. And the most beautiful part is that we have the piece here available.
It's the one right behind us there, that racing green, almost like a British racing green from the Jaguar, right?
Haley green. It's a Haley green. So that's a very unique piece. Everything was already sold during the event in May. And it's quite unique that we still have the piece available here. So I'm expecting a lot. So I will tell a little bit to the crowd here what it is, what it will be, what is a tourbillon.
So what makes a piece like that so unique? Is it obviously the workmanship, but the materials, I guess, and the type of movement, no?
Well, the tourbillon is one of a special piece. I mean, it really highlights watchmaking. We produce the watch and the movement really to explain a little bit that we are really a manufacture company. A tourbillon is a piece that we produce with silicium parts, and that makes it unique. The silicium escapement wheel, that it's much more smooth, so you don't have to oil it. It also lasts longer, so the friction is lower. So it's all.
So it makes the movement more constant for a much longer time.
Absolutely, that's a nice word.
And are these like perpetual movement watches? What kind of watches are we looking at?
This is really a tourbillon in its own. It's not a perpetual, but on the side we have here a large exhibit of manufacture calibers. So we have all our calibers here. So from the World Timer, our own manufacture, and the 705 Moonface, what's one of the most popular one. So I think it's going to be a nice, exciting night.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to enjoy seeing these watches, and obviously one will be going away with it for sure.
I expect that we will sell some, yeah. We have a nice team here now available from Frédéric Constant, and they will be fully available to explain everything about the brand.
That's a very nice approach that you guys have. You also have something that goes on in Europe. It's called Riva Days. I looked it up a bit on the net, and I fell in love with the beautiful boats that are used during this event. What is that all about?
Yeah, it's a nice thing. So we have two main events. It's the Healy event, the Vintage Rally, what we called it, and the Runabout. And the Runabout is based on the Riva Historical Society. So it's a group that's owning wooden sport boats. The beauty of that part is that you have that boat only when you have a passion about the boat. A wooden boat, it's like you have to work all the year about the boat. And that's the same a little bit with the brand. Peter and Letta both started the brand because of a passion.
So it's a question of philosophy, basically, to keep the same philosophy, the same approach. These boats are unique, basically, and they're handcrafted. They're beautiful because they use the essence of wood. But there are many people that participate.
Yeah, it's a large event, and it's very popular. And we always make a combination with the brand, the watch brand. And I mean, the boats are beautiful finished. And the nice part is that those people really appreciate also the watch, the refinished, the finishing, the watch, the craftsmanship behind. So it's a beautiful event. We do it in Italy, actually. We have two. So
where is it done in Italy?
Lago Maggiore. We have that's the main one.
And you also mentioned the Healy event.
The Healy event, yeah, in London always. We have key events. Well, we have it in London, but we have it in all countries. So you have many local Healy events, and there it's really the classical car event.
Austin Healy,
yeah.
And again, obviously, with people that are owners of Frédéric Constant or that would like to be.
Yeah, it's owning of the watch, but it's passion about the vintage rally. So it's really a combination. Here you see the car. We have always a limited edition in combination with the car. So.
And again, in that beautiful green color.
The beautiful green racing color. True.
Niels, it was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much, and all the best for the future.
Thank you very much.
Allora andiamo subito a questa pausa e si continua con Metropoli. L'eleganza di una serata così capita poco spesso qui a Montreal e abbiamo proprio l'occasione di partecipare a questa serata speciale, che è la serata proprio qui a Bijouterie Italienne, che raggruppa 4 dei più grandi produttori di gioielli, ma non solo, anche di orologi. Uno di questi produttori di orologi è Frédéric Constant. Ho il piacere di avere con me la persona che si occupa delle vendite attraverso tutto il Nord America, Zaida Zamorano. Zaida, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
How long has Frédéric Constant been in North America?
So we launched Frédéric Constant in 2009, so just going on 5 years. So it's a relatively young brand.
And you have been with them from the beginning, right?
from the beginning. I joined in April 2009, so a lot of progress since then.
A lot of progress, probably a lot of hard work. How does a brand like Frédéric Constant place itself within the North American market?
You know, our price points start at $795 up to about $4,000 or $5,000 on average. So we're truly in the accessible luxury price category. We have 175 fantastic retail partners across North America, very similar to Bijouterie Italienne. So the positioning is very important for us. We typically like to be the entry price point, so really a welcome or a bridge into the world of luxury watches.
And what makes these watches so special? I know Niels talked to us a bit about the silicium that is involved in certain pieces. There's some exclusive materials that are used. And I guess that's what makes the brand obviously prestigious, because why else would somebody want to buy a Frédéric Constant watch if it doesn't have something special about it?
Right. So in addition to the technical side, what I believe makes Frédéric Constant very special is that it's truly a timeless, very classical look with a contemporary twist. So very appropriate for a young professional, someone who may be graduating from college or beginning their first career, all the way up to a collector who may have many fine timepieces within their repertoire.
That's right. And you also have a women's division. The women's division, obviously, there's probably even more jewelry that is fixed with the watch. Can you speak to us a bit about the women's collection?
Yeah, absolutely. So the ladies' collection represents about 40%, sometimes even up to 50% of our sales across North America. The piece that I'm wearing should be the Art Deco, has inspiration really from the 1920s and 1930s. Very classical, very timeless, perfect for everyday wear. Our signature collection for the ladies is our interlocking double hearts, the ladies' double heartbeat collection. A great feature with that is that every time we make a sale, we donate $50 to the World Heart Federation.
So there's also a social giving back to society that is involved, not only with the company, but obviously certain of these watches.
And I can't really see, but Inés Sastre, she's a Spanish actress and model. She's the ambassador for the Hearts of Children charity campaign, which we've collaborated with her.
You seem to have many ties with either movie stars or, as you say, ambassadors for different... is that something that is very difficult to obtain when you approach people? How do you go about that?
You know what... The slogan for Frédéric Constant is "Live Your Passion." It connects back to Peter and Aletta having started the company in 1988 truly as a hobby. So, it's their passion project, and they really like to support other organizations, work with celebrities, work with ambassadors for the brand that have a similar foundation, that passion.
That passion and that philosophy that keeps them going. Now, Frédéric Constant is also throughout Canada. Where can we find, aside from Montreal here at Bijouterie Italienne, but what cities are you in Canada?
Yeah, so of course we're in all of the major markets, but in addition, the brand does very well in markets such as Winnipeg, Saskatoon, Halifax, smaller markets, but still there's a great niche for the brand with this classical look and design.
And they have been here in Canada since the beginning that you came to North America?
Yeah, in 2009 we only had a handful of partners, and over the last 5 years we've grown to about 40 in total.
40 partners. Allora, avete sentito che questa Frédéric Constant si trovano attraverso non solo Montreal, però attraverso il Nord America. La signora Zaida qui a fianco a me ci parla che è solo da 5 anni che questi orologi sono qui piazzati in Nord America. Allo stesso tempo, però, in Canada anche delle città come Winnipeg e Saskatoon hanno un distributore di questi orologi prestigiosi che cominciano, se vogliamo, a $795 fino a $5,000 e forse anche oltre, perché ci sono dei pezzi unici di questi orologi. Can someone come to Frédéric Constant and say, I want something made, custom made, or do they have to stay with what is the brand? Because you have some very exclusive pieces.
So with Frédéric Constant, we do have some slight flexibility. We actually do have a third brand, which is not yet distributed in North America.
Which is?
Our brand, it's Atelier de Monaco. It's a slightly higher price point, extremely luxurious, very, very high level of attention to detail. And there we do some custom-made, one-of-a-kind pieces.
Because there may be somebody that is just passionate about watches, and obviously you have certain ideas, and sometimes you see an idea with one watch, you see an idea with another watch, and you want to kind of mix a few things together. So it's nice to know that this can be done.
Absolutely. We do offer a number of limited edition pieces, so that level of exclusivity is available. On occasion we'll have a series which is limited to only 10 timepieces. So 10 timepieces worldwide is rather exclusive.
It's very, very exclusive. Zaida, there's another event that I'd like you to talk to us about, because I spoke with Niels about the event, the Riva Days, basically, which are in Italy. There's another event in North America, right?
Yes, it's the Lake Tahoe Concours Elegance. We have participated for the last 3 years. It's right at the border between California and Nevada. It's a magical destination. The boats are beyond beautiful. They range from 75,000 on up to 400,000.
And is it the same runabout boats that are used in Europe?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And these boats, are they imported from Europe, or do they have some local boats right here?
Coincidentally, we had a gentleman drive his boat from Calgary all the way down to Lake Tahoe, and then oftentimes the rest do come from abroad. So it's typically 80 to 100 of the finest boats from all around the world.
And that happens over a weekend? What kind of event is it? Can you speak to us a bit about the event?
It's typically the first or second weekend of August. You have, several thousand guests come from all over the world to view these boats. There's a very competitive competition.
They want to show off whose boat is nicer, yours, mine?
Best in class. They're highly competitive, but also extremely, extremely passionate. So it's a very nice tie-in with the brand.
Zaida, that's a very nice event. Do you also have the Healy event in North America?
We do have a Healy event. We support the Vintage Rally collection, so we do open it up to the classical world of cars. In 2013, we sponsored the Lime Rock event, which was in Connecticut. So another very fun event with...
So you have all the historic, legendary cars that are there, and as a sponsor, obviously, it gives you great exposure, and at the same time, you're exposed to these beautiful cars that these collectors have.
Yeah, no, exactly. And what's great about the Vintage Rally collection is that anyone who's interested is able to purchase a timepiece and take the car home, a miniature die-cast model of the NOJ 393, which is a pretty famous vintage car.
Zaida, we wish you all the best, and thank you so much for your comments.
Thank you so much.
Ecco, allora andiamo subito a questa brevissima pausa. Quando si parla di gioielleria si parla spesso di oro, si parla di orologi, però c'è una componente molto molto importante del gioiello che è la pietra, e una di queste pietre è il diamante. Il signore qui accanto a me è un esperto di questi diamanti e lavora per una delle grandi ditte di diamanti, la Forever Mark, il signor Travis Ashburner. Welcome to our show, Travis. We're happy to have you with us to speak to us also about diamonds, because they're a woman's best friend, right?
They are. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me onto the show.
So Travis, this event here in Montreal is quite unique, because obviously we have Bijouterie Italienne, which is hosting 4 of the most prestigious brands worldwide as far as either watches or jewelry are concerned, and you are one of them. Who exactly do you represent? And you are the marketing director, right?
Correct. Yeah, I am the managing director for brands for HRA, which is a site holder. We are the largest manufacturer and distributor of diamonds, Canadian diamonds, in the world.
Canadian diamonds, you specified that, very important, because in Canada we have diamonds, right?
We do. In Canada we have actually the world's second largest supply of diamonds. And not just any diamond, but the finest diamonds. What's unique about the diamonds that we find in Canada is that they're in fact amongst the highest quality in the world. So not just quantity, but also quality.
So when we talk about diamond quality, there's obviously a whole world, basically a universe that we can talk about when we talk about diamonds, because there's the color, there's the imperfections. Can you speak to us about the Canadian diamonds in particular?
Sure, and what I would also like to bring into this conversation is Forever Mark, which is of course, the banner we're standing behind here. We are the distributor for Forever Mark in Canada, and Forever Mark are the world's truly most beautiful diamonds, a good portion of which come right from Canada. So when we're talking about what you were sort of indicating to me was the 4 C's, we call them: clarity, cut, color, carat, and the 5th C, which we use in Canada, Canadian.
Very nice.
Very good. But no, ultimately with Forever Mark, we take a step even beyond just the 4 C's, because a Forever Mark diamond is judged on 3 calibers or 3 pillars, which are beauty, rarity, and responsible sourcing.
So that means that your mining operations are obviously environment friendly. They take care of issues, obviously, because now it's very, very apropos, all these environmental issues, right?
Yes, absolutely. Forever Mark diamonds are selected to be not only the most beautiful and the world's rarest diamonds, but also ethical diamonds. We like to call them diamonds for good.
How long has the Forever Mark been operating?
I'm so glad you asked. Forever Mark was launched in 2008. It was actually, interestingly enough, launched in Asia, and it was launched in 2011, 2012 in the United States, but it really only made it to Canada in 2012. So we're about 2 years young, and we've been a very fast-growing, very successful company because, on a large part, it's backed by De Beers. De Beers is the Forever Mark brand, and the Forever Mark diamond is sourced and mined and provided and certified entirely by De Beers.
The mining process obviously is a very long and arduous process, because to extract a diamond that is worth the quality is not very easy. Where are these diamond mines located here in Canada, do you know?
I do, actually. So in a Forever Mark diamond, Forever Mark diamonds come from 4 countries and about 12 mines in the world. And that's it. But when we're talking specifically about the Canadian diamonds that are part of the Forever Mark diamond, they come from 2 mines, which are Snap Lake and Victor Mine. Victor Mine is in northern Ontario, and Snap Lake Mine is in just outside of Yellowknife, so in the Northwest Territories. Yeah.
So we're very...
And there's soon to be a new mine. It's called Gauchoquet, which is also in that vicinity, and it will come online. To give you an idea, and this is sort of comes back to the significance of the social responsibility of the Forever Mark diamond. De Beers discovered diamonds at Gauchoquet over 20 years ago. It's taken them until today, and it is not even happening. It's expected in 2015 that they'll finally be able to break ground and build a mine, because all the permits and the proper environmental planning and agreements with First Nations and everyone, all the other stakeholders have been considered. They can finally begin mining. Here's an interesting fact for you.
Yes, absolutely. A very responsible approach.
They've also invested over $1 billion, and they haven't been able to even dig a stone from the ground yet, except for sampling, of course.
Okay, so this over the past 20 years, over $1 billion invested to a pre-investment exactly required to extract these diamonds, but in a very responsible way, obviously, as you so well mentioned. But let's get back to the 4 C's. I know there's a lot of women watching. Ci sono tante donne che guardano. And what are the 4 C's? Can we get into a bit of the details of the 4 C's?
Sure. So diamonds are evaluated on cut, clarity, color, and carat weight. So let's start with the cut, because cut is actually something that's extremely important and unique to Forever Mark. All Forever Mark diamonds are very good to excellent cut grade or better. We don't even allow good quality diamonds or good cut grade diamonds into the program. They have to be very good or excellent before they're even looked at and marked as a Forever Mark diamond.
What makes a diamond cut so good or very good or excellent? Because I think it's a question of proportions and shape, right?
You're absolutely right. Yeah, it's an excellent question. What makes a diamond's cut so specific is that diamonds the cuts act like little mirrors. So each mirror reflects light and refracts light back up. The better the cut, the more perfectly aligned those mirrors are, and the better that the light is returned to the eye, therefore creating that brilliance, that fire, that scintillation, the sparkle that makes a diamond come alive.
The luminosity of the diamond. And then we have the clarity.
Correct, the clarity. So clarity is also a very important feature. Clarity are the amount of tiny little imperfections in the diamond. Unique again to Forevermark. Forevermark diamonds must be Si2 or higher clarity.
SI meaning?
Meaning slightly included. It's really an industry-specific term. It's not altogether the most important part, but what is important is that there is an exclusive level of which diamonds must be better than to be a Forevermark diamond.
Does a pure, non-encrusted diamond have an inclusion? Are there diamonds that have no inclusions whatsoever?
There is. A diamond with no inclusions and no flaws whatsoever would be internally flawless.
Internally flawless, that's right. But is it available and is it buyable?
Of course, yeah, it is. It is available. They are the world's rarest diamonds, particularly depending on the color, which we'll drop to in just a second. But depending on the color, with the internally flawless grade, the more perfect a diamond is, the rarer it is. So they are amongst the rarest in the world, if not the rarest, and fetch the highest prices as a result.
I'm sure, and they merit those prices. Then we have the color.
And then we have color. Now, color is really an indication of how white and transparent a diamond is. So in the scheme of things, if we talk really technically, which I'll only go into very, very briefly, they start in a color grade called D and they go all the way through the alphabet as they pick up little bits of yellow or little bits of brown. What's unique about the Forevermark diamond grading system is that only diamonds between D and L, which is a very, very limited range, could ever be certified as a Forevermark diamond. So they really are amongst the whitest of the white, the most brilliant diamonds around.
Travis Ashburner, this has been fascinating to discover the world of diamonds and to especially know that Forevermark has them right here in Canada and throughout the world.
It's Bijouterie Italienne.
Exactly. Travis Ashburner, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for your time.
Ecco, allora andiamo a questa brevissima pausa. Allora, speriamo che questo programma vi sia piaciuto. I regali di Natale sicuramente sono delle idee molto vicine perché in questo periodo evidentemente è una delle suggestioni che i tanti ragazzi e ragazze vogliono per il loro regalo di Natale. Io devo ringraziare Bijouterie Italienne per averci ospitato e di aver organizzato una serata così meravigliosa e anche molto esclusiva. Dobbiamo ringraziare i nostri invitati, i vari rappresentanti dei vari marchi di gioielli e anche di orologi. Allora, io vi do appuntamento alla prossima e grazie ancora del vostro ascolto. Ciao ciao!